Hi guys, this is Hannah, one of the OTs from Best Start Clinic, and welcome back to my video series on toilet training, which I hope you found useful. So today I'm going to go through the topic, where do I begin? Because where do you start when you haven't done this kind of thing before? So I could be here all day chatting about different strategies and tips and tricks to toilet training, but today I really want to focus on some key points which I hope you find useful in starting you off on that journey of toilet training. What I'm going to cover today is some methods of where to start, what you can start by trying, and also how to make toilet training positive and fun and the importance of that as well. Now, a good place to start is getting your child used to the toilet, getting used to what does it do, how it functions, getting familiar with it. So a way you can first start off by is when they soil their nappies, showing them that it can go in the toilet, so scraping the nappy and then flushing of the poo, putting it in the toilet and flushing it to watch it go down together. The second thing is getting them familiar with sitting on the toilet. So once you've got the toilet seat insert or the toilet frame, getting them to practice walking up it and sitting on it as well. And the third thing is also sometimes maybe getting them to watch you do it and talking them through the process of how you go to the toilet and what you're doing and why as well. So when you start toilet training, it's important to make sure to keep your child's fluids up so they're more likely to need to go, and also to prevent constipation as well. So where do I begin? How do I do it? So one thing you can start off by is, even at the very start, keeping a record of and being aware of when your child does generally do something in their nappy. So trying to find a pattern, do they tend to do something in the first thing in the morning when they wake up? Is it 30 minutes after a meal? Is it before or after certain activities? So trying to see a pattern, trying to see if there's a familiar time in which they're soiling or wetting their nappy, but it's perfectly okay if you haven't been able to pinpoint it yet. The next thing is pick a day when you can be at home and then get them to go nappy free that day, so they can still wear undies and pants, or if it's warmer weather, just their undies. But the important thing is that during the toilet training process they don't wear a nappy, so that they can feel that wetness of the wee against their bodies and be aware of it, rather than relying on the nappy and not being aware of what's happening. It's perfectly fine as well to still keep on nappies overnight, because it takes a lot longer to toilet train a child overnight, and that comes later. But first start off going nappy free during the day. It's good to also start toilet training your child at home for a few days as well before you start to venture out. And when you go out, get familiar with where the toilets are located, bring plastic bags along and spare changes of clothes as well. When first teaching a child the concept of going to the toilet to do their wees and poos, pick a consistent time frequency in which you'd like to take your child. So you can start off by first trying to take them every 30 minutes and keep up their fluids during this time to increase the likelihood of them needing to go. Then every 30 minutes you can also wear a timer as well, set off an alarm, take them to the toilet, get them to sit on the toilet and wait for 3 to 5 minutes to see if they do something. So you don't want to take them off straight away if they don't do something. You want to allow them that time, but you also don't want to keep them on too long that they become frustrated. So between 3 to 5 minutes is generally a good time. So if they don't do anything, that's perfectly okay. Take them off after a few minutes and try again later. You want to keep it positive, so praise them each time they go regardless. Praise them for trying. But if they do go, the key is to reward them even more so when they experience this success on the toilet. So if they do a wee or a poo, give lots of praise, make it a big celebration. You can reduce this over time, but as they're initially learning to go to the toilet, it's important to give them that positive connection of what they're doing and to keep it motivating for them. If you're finding your child is always having accidents before you get to the toilet, then you can decrease the amount of time between your toilet visits, so you can go more frequently to try and catch the moments. Or if you're finding they're staying dry for long periods of time and they're getting frustrated because they're not going each time that they go, you can lengthen that time between your toilet visits as well. So you can try taking them every hour, for example. Every child is different. However, the importance is to keep it frequent enough so you can try and catch their wheeze and the poos on their toilet so they experience successes more often than accidents. But every child is different, so it is a bit of trial and error. But the key is that we want to set them up for success and keep it that positive experience. Another thing is try looking out for signs that your child needs to go to the toilet, like we chatted about in a previous video. Are they wiggling? Are they squatting? Are they hiding in the corner? Can you start to smell something? Then quick, run them to the toilet. The key is to try and catch them in the moment if you can, and then get them to do it on the toilet, and then praise and celebrate that with them as well. As your child continues to toilet train, ask at different times of day as reminders if your child needs to go to the toilet. So don't force them, but you may need to remind them at different times if they do need to go, especially if they are in the middle of playing in a really fun activity. They might forget about needing to go to the toilet. And before you go out places as well, it's generally a good time to remind them. Take them to the toilet as well before they go to bed. During this process, when taking them, wipe your child's bottom initially until they do learn how. Particularly with girls, it's important to wipe from the front to the back as well. And if your child is a boy, you can get him to shake his penis to get any little last drips off as well. Sometimes even placing a ping pong ball into the toilet bowl can provide something for your child to aim towards as well. Or you can get him to sit on the toilet as well, as perfectly fine too. After your child does go to the toilet, talk through the routine of wiping their bottom, flushing the toilet, and then take them to wash their hands so that they get used to that routine as well. And if your child has an accident, the key is to still keep things positive. So don't put a lot of focus on that they've had an accident, just clean it up and try again. So above all, the key is to keep toilet training a fun and positive experience for your child. Don't force them, don't rush them. Toilet training may happen quicker than you thought it would, or it may take longer, and that's perfectly okay. It could take days, it could take weeks or months, but the key is to keep it positive, keep trying, try again. Ways to make toilet training motivating for your child is to continue to praise them for trying each time they go. Give lots of praise and reward them when they are successful in the toilet. So you may even give them a reward such as a sticker or a stamp. Have what my boss calls a toilet party, sing songs, bring in favourite books and toys, things to keep them motivated and staying on the toilet, and things to keep that experience positive as well. So these are just some things to start you off. But what do you do when you're ready to toilet train? Your child's ready to toilet train. You've set everything up and it doesn't work. You run into difficulties. Well, that's okay. It does happen. Some reasons why toilet training might be difficult may be due to motivation of your child to toilet train. Is your child ready for toilet training? Are you ready for toilet training? Is it a good time? Physical capabilities of the child, maybe difficulties with communication or understanding the routine. But when things become difficult, it's okay to wait a bit and try again later, or to ask for help as well. And OTs can definitely help in this area. But give it a go, seek help if you need, or try again later. You'll get there. You guys are awesome, and thanks for listening to this video series on toilet training. I hope you found it useful. Take care.